Hey guys, Omni here. It is finally time to dive into the finale of Star Wars The Bad Batch. It's been a crazy ride up to this point. We had some slower episodes here and there, some fun stuff, but for most part, like the show, I think has been keeping that energy going. I love the world building that we've been seeing throughout the season so far. I'm excited that we're getting a season 2. And I think that might open the door for a lot of people to forgive a little bit of the pacing, because I know a lot of people had some issues with some of those slower non-story centric episodes. So like maybe that'll like alleviate some people's concerns, because I do feel like that we were kind of waiting to find out for sure if this was going to be one season, like a limited run, or if this was going to get multiple seasons. So maybe that will open the door. I've already seen some people be like, okay, knowing another season's around the corner, like I can forgive some of that other stuff, because this is going to be an ongoing narrative. It never really bothered me, except for like one episode that I just really didn't get into much at all. But otherwise, I had a great time throughout this season so far. They've taken these characters, which I didn't think would be able to stand on their own, based on their introduction in the final season of the Clone Wars, and they turned me around on it. Like, I really like these characters. I like this story. I like Omega, and like the bond that she's formed with this team's place in the galaxy, and especially with last episode, like this dynamic that they are like battling with between their lost brother Crosshair and their own ideals, and like his point of view on their betrayal of him. Like the last episode was just a lot of fun, like them reframing that like from his point of view, and like putting the guilt on them for not ever coming back for him, not trying to save him, not rescuing him, or trying to even like make an attempt to reach back out after he had turned. Like he feels that. And he says that he's even had his chip removed. So I wonder when that was. Like we saw in the opening episode that they did ramp up his chip to give it some effectiveness over him. But I'm wondering, after a point, when did he get it removed? It could have easily been before Braca, because even if he did have a scar, the burning from that engine would cover up any evidence of it even being removed. Has he been lied to? Has he been told he didn't have a chip, but he's actually been secretly obeying orders against his own volition? Who knows? I don't know. But it was a really nice twist, because out of all of them, honestly, like, Crosshair would be the one that is most predisposed to aligning with the mission statement of the Empire. So it does kind of make sense if he would legitimately side with them. But there are just some things that he's done, like in those earlier moments, that I definitely, that's got to be the chip, because I don't feel like some of those things Crosshair would have executed with just such cold reserve. Like, I don't think he's completely heartless, but I do think that he is a good soldier in his own eyes. So I don't know. I feel like it was there up to a point, but who knows when, and if we'll even learn when it was removed, or if it was removed. We'll just find out where it goes. But guys, I'm excited to see how this comes to a close. Kamino is in shambles. It is going into the sea after the Empire has just abandoned Crosshair and 99 all together with the ruins of Kamino as they bombard it from the sky with their Star Destroyers. So yeah. Crosshair, man, betrayed by everybody he's put his faith in. Let's see how that resolves. So guys, this episode is called Kamino Lost. So let's go ahead and get ready to dive into this one. Remember, the full-length unedited reaction watch-alongs on Patreon. If you want to see my full-length uncut reaction, I got that for the full season so far. And everything else we've been covering this year on the channel, we got full-length reactions to over there. DC, Marvel, Star Wars, Invincible, some films and stuff like that I've just done reviews for here on the channel. If you want to check that out, it just helps support the channel. We'll be doing this for the Book of Boba Fett and The Mandalorian Season 3 when that comes out. So all that shit, man. Star Wars. We're here for it. So guys, that all down all the way. Finally, let's go ahead and dive into the finale of Season 1 of The Bad Batch. Gosh, that storm, the shot, that non-care in his eyes, that lack of emotion. Jeez, man. Oh my god. This would be terrifying being like in there. Especially even for me, because like I hate the ocean. Like terrified of it. This would be my worst fucking nightmare, man. Oh no.
The cities have been destroyed, sir. All Kamino facilities have collapsed into the sea.
Rendezvous with the fleet.
Omega, wake up!
AZ?
I do not wish to alarm you, but if you do not vacate this compartment, you will soon perish.
Crosshair!
Oh, Omega's left on this side with Crosshair. Oh, this is where that's where the Grinch's heart will get warmed, man. She's gonna work her Naruto magic on him.
Are you okay?
Not really. The room is flooding, and Crosshair's stuck.
Greetings, CT-9904. You survived the aerial bombardment, but are now moments away from drowning.
AZ! Help! Go under and use your boosters. I'll try to break it free.
Come on, guys. That's smart.
We have to get the door open.
Gosh, Omega's... Gosh, she's so cool. This is like, god damn it. From where we were in the beginning to now, God, Filoni, you got me again, man.
What have you done? The Empire opened fire on the city. We weren't gonna leave you behind.
We don't have time for this. We need to get topside before this entire structure submerges.
Yeah, fuck this, dude. Nope, nope, don't like it. Don't like it.
Come on, Omega. We have to go.
Damn, man.
Hold on to something.
Okay. Dude, they're at the bottom of the ocean.
We need to get to a space that's more secure.
Follow me.
Ugh. Fuck, dude.
Ironically, our old barracks is one of the few compartments habitable. Albeit temporarily.
What happened to it? At least the smell's gone. Check it out.
All those missions together, and you threw it away.
Blind allegiance makes you a pawn. A real leader protects his squad.
They're all going to die here because of your failed leadership.
No, we're not. We landed on the underwater tunnel.
And that's not compromised? It's convenient. It's a little bent. Yeah, I was like, how is the glass not shattered if it's like
That would be unwise. I am afraid this is our
jacked
best
up like
option.
that?
You done complaining?
Something on your tiny mind, Wrecker.
All that time, you didn't even try to come back. We still would have taken you.
Let it go, Wrecker. Crosshair has always been severe and unyielding. It is his nature. Why are you defending me? I am not. Understanding you does not mean that I agree with you.
This doesn't look very safe.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Move. Stop looking at it and go. God.
Let's keep moving.
Oh God, this. Large bodies of water, I do not do well with, especially when you can't see in it.
These tunnels are protected, right?
Only when the power is operational.
Oh, that's great. We're gonna have. Oh no. This is fucking horrifying. Dude, what the world is that? It kind of looks like the thing from the Phantom Menace. Kinda. I mean, we can't really get a good look at it. Yeah, no, never mind. No, it doesn't. Kinda? Fuck. Whatever it is, this is ugly as hell and it's scary. Oh yeah, that's more like a giant fish turtle. Like a big old snapping turtle. Snapping turtle. Gosh, my fucking... A Webiginia just came out.
What is this place?
Nalase's private lab. Omega says
Oh yeah, he didn't come in this way. I was like, wasn't you there? But no, they were there to rescue him, so of course.
because she was there. Omega was created before us. Technically, she is older than we are.
Yeah, I got that wrong last week too. There's a little detail that went over my head for some reason.
That tunnel was the only way to the Marauder.
It would seem that, once again, we are trapped.
Well, at least that platform being all the way out there is safe. Like I was thinking, I was like, oh shit, what if their ship is now on the water too, though?
This is what happens when you let a kid call the shots.
That kid saved your life. Unlike the Empire, who left you for dead.
Yeah, like what was the alternative here?
The Empire will control the entire galaxy, and I am going to be a part of it. You made the wrong choice.
All you'll ever be to them is a number.
I mean, look, they didn't give two shits about leaving you here, buddy. Not two shits. Headache.
You never liked it on Kamino, did you?
Go away.
I understand. I was alone down here. Until you four were created. That's why I was determined to find you all again.
No.
Being a clone doesn't make you one of them.
I wanted to believe it was the inhibitor chip that made you like this, but I was wrong.
These medical capsules are our way out of here.
If our mass is evenly distributed, the buoyancy of these watertight chambers will bring us to the surface.
How do we avoid the debris field out there?
The droid. He can do it.
Barring any extraneous complications, I should be able to complete the task.
I barely fit in this thing.
Quit complaining. At least you're not doubled up.
I have accessed my reserve power. We must hurry.
AZ's gonna sacrifice himself getting them up there.
I can't see anything.
That is a good thing.
Damn, that was close. Oh no.
Omega.
Omega, what's happening?
I got caught on some debris. It's okay. AZ's got me. Don't give up. We're nearly there.
Your path is clear. I have completed my
No! I'm going after AZ.
Omega, come!
Gosh.
I'm going in.
Holy shit. Got me fucking like teared up a little bit over that fucking droid, damn it.
We want different things, Crosshair. That doesn't mean that we have to be enemies.
Thank you for saving AZ.
Consider us even.
You're still their brother, Crosshair. You're my brother too.
Damn.
We are all admirers of your scientific talents. The Empire has big things planned for you.
Mm-hmm. Damn, dude. Damn. Anything. Yeah, Star Wars isn't like always like, hey, let's put shit at random points in it. Yeah, it was just nothing. That was a good episode, man. That was a good finale. Obviously, the last one and this one are meant to be watched combined. Because the first one said part 1, finale part 1. And then this one actually just says, you know, Kamino lost. But obviously, this is part 2. Like, I think it's meant to be watched as like one back-to-back thing, but they broke it up for whatever reason. But I really enjoyed this, you know, exploring just them trying to get through this wreckage, through this situation, and like coming about like all their kind of like just the desperation, trying to be stuck in this situation, this claustrophobic, sinking city. And then just this reluctant partnership, not even partnership, just like this reluctant relationship and survival tactics that just have to be initiated between these group, like this uncomfortable, strained relationship between Crosshair and his brothers for them wanting different lives, different outcomes. Like, again, he's still holding his head, so he's still having some types of headache, but I think it's very at least clear at this point. Maybe that's a side effect of the chip just being in there. Maybe he just has chronic headaches. I mean, I have chronic sinus issues, so who knows? Chronic headaches aren't unheard of, so maybe that was just a misdirect to make it think his headaches were caused by it, because it seems like, you know, like Omega said, like we just wanted to believe this was the chip the whole time. And I do think it was in the beginning, but maybe, I mean, who knows? They didn't confirm nor deny whether or not what he says is the truth. We obviously know that Empire lies to him. And he still thinks that he has value with them, which he does, but merely as a tool. Like, he will never be anything of import to the Empire. Like, they just have a disdain for clones, and they always will. Like, if he knew like what they had, the shit that goes on behind their backs, like about him, like between his own squad mates, his commander, all this stuff, who knows? He might have a different outlook, and maybe that's something they'll save for season 2, like him like going back to the Empire, like, I managed to survive, blah blah blah. like, what's left for him now? Like, they clearly intended for him to die. If he goes back, are they just going to accept him with open arms? He's declined this invitation yet again for his brothers because he still feels like they betrayed him and that they just can't see eye to eye. And like Hunter said, it's like, we're still family. We're still, and Omega said too, he's like, you're still their brother. And just because we want different things doesn't mean we're enemies or that we have to be. So what life does that leave for Crosshair? Because obviously he's going to be pitted against them if he goes back to the Empire. So it's just going to be this cycle. So like, I'm wondering like where they go with that in season 2. In well, I think this one's like, we got some stuff with Hera. We got a couple of setups here, a little bit of this, like, Fennec popped up. We saw Cad Bane, and we had the early inklings of Ryloth's engagement into the rebellion. I think it's easy to say that, like, they wanted to keep it a little more contained in this and a little more intimate. I think we've kind of crossed that road here. And who knows, season 2, as we get farther into the middle point, like closer to when Obi-Wan starts to pick up, closer to Rebels, closer to all that other stuff, like throughout that gap, like, it's going to be interesting to kind of see more of the world building that they can go. Obviously, I think it'll open the doors for the Bad Batch to explore more of the early stages of the rebellion, because we're going to be seeing the rebel presence start to grow and pick up in season 2. We'll see Hera and them, we'll see Rex, and possibly even Ahsoka, like, see what they're doing in this middle time. I expect in season 2 and onward, we will start to see more familiar faces, because they're going to be becoming more prominent in the galaxy as this time progresses towards as we get closer to the original trilogy. And I think it's going to be fun to see that, because I think that was the most fun thing about this season so far, is just seeing that slow, gradual effect of just how the transition of the Republic into the Empire was handled in the various worlds that they inhabit. Like, seeing just the little ways too, the micro ways, like the increase in, the rise in registration, the rise in records, the rise in the shift in credits, and being able to even move within the galaxy being restricted to these like passport kind of things of the chain codes, having to force all the vehicles in the systems to be registered. We start seeing them set the stage for the galaxy that we know once the OT kind of picks up. And I like seeing a lot of that. We got some tastes of the transition to conscripted soldiers versus clone soldiers. So the first recruitments from the galaxy, from the civilian population into the military of the Empire, we're seeing them go down that path. Obviously, it's cheaper, mass numbers. We've talked about this. Obviously, skill isn't something they need. They don't need these expensive, like, militarized killing machines anymore. They just need the numbers to police this galaxy, because in the end of the day, no matter, in some ways, quantity over quantity can actually provide like a substantial benefit. We saw that in the Clone Wars with the droid army. Like, they were easily dispatched most of the time, but in large numbers, when they overwhelm your forces, it doesn't matter if like they hit their shot half the time or even less than that, because if that percentage goes up when there's a bunch of them firing at you at once. Like, it's fun, man, seeing how they play with this universe. And I'm just curious, like, how the Crosshair relationship will carry on in the season 2. And, just like with Ahsoka, Dave Filoni does a really good job at taking these kid characters that start off like a little, even though Omega didn't start off like annoying me at all in the beginning at all. She was, of course, very childlike, naive. And like, I like seeing her because he was a fish out of water, like in experiencing the greater world. And I like that about it. So I never really had that Ahsoka moment, because in the early days when Ahsoka's like just quipping and, giving everybody a nickname, the whole Sky Guy thing and Snips and all that stuff. Like, she was pretty annoying. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, in the beginning, I thought she was pretty annoying, but she grew over time and became one of my favorite characters in the Star Wars mythology. And Omega really like did a speed run on my attachment to this character, because while she skipped like that annoying phase to me, like she just skyrocketed to being into a competent member of this team. She contributes, like, even we saw that like heavily like commented on by Crosshair throughout this, because he's obviously missed this progression. So he's just like taken aback, because like, you're taking orders for a kid. If you weren't taking orders from a kid, you wouldn't be in this situation. Like all those snarky comebacks. But he's got no fucking clue, man. She's a strategical genius. She's highly adept. She picks up on things super quick. She saved his ass so he could shut up. So like, it's just like, I like that. And then like we do see that, like, again, there is like a soul in this guy. Like, he's not a soulless killing machine. And that's why I do think, like, in the earlier episodes, the chip was in fact active. I mean, they made a point of showing them working on the chip. They didn't remove it. Tarkin told them to jack that shit up. And I don't think Crosshair, I would hope that Crosshair wouldn't just execute helpless civilians, the elderly, and children of his own accord. But I do believe that he would serve the Empire in the end. I do think he would do that, but I don't think he would have wholeheartedly done some of the things that he did do in the earlier moments of it. It's just as far as when did he prove his loyalty enough for them to remove the chip, is that what I want to know. Did they take it out when they were working on him after his damage from the engine on Braca? Did he take it out way before that? It's something I'm curious about. But yeah, I thought this was a great finale. I don't know what else to touch on. I think we touched on pretty much all of it. I think seeing Kamino fall is like the last sign. And we kind of thought, I kind of thought we said that when we buried the clone troopers at the end of the final season of the Clone Wars, that I really feel like the destruction of Kamino puts a solid end cap on that era. You know? Like, you know what I mean? And now it's a whole new segment era of the galaxy that we're living in. The Empire is no longer encroaching. It is now in effect. It is in control. It is transitioning to its new soldier types. Where I think we've seen we got past the transition, and with the destruction of Kamino, it is a bullet point, the period at the end of the sentence that is the Clone Wars era, the era of the clones, and we'll be moving into what we kind of grew up with. You know, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how they adapt that and how we see this show's perspective on it. And with Nala Se at the end there, being taken to that remote facility, and we saw they already have these science officers who have that same patch, their logo on it, you know, like we saw with the geneticist in The Mandalorian that was helping Grogu and all that. This is definitely tied into whatever that project is. I kind of expected to see Grogu, like, at some point. Maybe we will in season 2. Like, you know, because we were closer to the fall of the Republic, I was kind of like hoping we might see or find out who actually rescued him. I didn't expect him to like be a plot point, like, or a major like recurring theme, but maybe if like we got a hint of that, or maybe the Bad Batch had helped in his survival in some way, or at least we came across the person that was doing that while they were trying to get out of the Empire. But no, maybe we'll save that for later, or maybe we won't ever touch on it. Who knows? But we definitely saw those seeds being planted throughout this with the whole cloner plot. So yeah, guys, it's been a ride. We will be following season 2 when it comes out, and again, we will be following Book of Boba Fett, The Mandalorian, all the Star Wars shows when they come out. So if you did like this, I hope you subscribe and stick around if you're not already, because we will be following that journey. Dave Filoni has my support. You know, like, I've got my mixed feelings on the sequel trilogy. I'm not the biggest fan in general of how it was all handled, but I trust Filoni, and I trust in him and his direction of Star Wars and where that's going to go. He's the head of their story group. Not group. He's in charge of all their creative story decisions at this point. I forget what his actual title is now, but so I'm curious to see where it all evolves from now. Hope maybe he will do what he did for the prequel trilogy, you know, with the Clone Wars, by filling in all these gaps, and maybe once he's done with it, maybe he can turn the majority opinion around on the sequels, or at least make them feel more coherent with the universe. Or maybe he'll spin off his own whole other thing, and maybe this cloner stuff will not connect to it. But I just feel like he's setting up the stage for them to try to do their best to connect the dots where the movies kind of failed to do so. But we'll see. We'll see. As much as I'd like them to just kind of stay their own thing and just stay in their own little pocket of it, I feel like that's kind of inevitable in the long run. But we'll see. We'll see how it's handled. Like I said, I trust Jon Favreau and I trust Dave Filoni, so I'm along for that ride. But guys, that's it for this video. I want to hear your thoughts on it, so sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. So yeah, the full-length unedited reaction watch-along is going to be available on Patreon and on if you become a member here on the channel. I want to shout out our channel legends, Mandy Sherritt, Ryan Karen, Jason Coleman, and Philly Vane. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you want to talk about Star Wars, DC, Marvel, anything movie and film, come join my Discord or follow me on all my socials. Links to all of those are in the description of this video. Thank you guys for following along with this journey, and may the Force be with you always. Take care, everybody.